What's up guys, I'm Chirag and welcome to part 18 of the tutorial series on Python basics tutorial. In this tutorial, I will take you through function in Python. So basically a function is a block of code or statements to achieve a given task when it is called. So functions will make the code modular and it also helps in reusability of the code. Right, so let's get started with the syntax or structure of the function in Python. So to declare any function in Python, def or the def keyword is used. Basically it denotes the start of the function. So to define a function, we will say def, right? So this will denote the start of the function, which will be further followed by the unique name of the function, right? So let's take an example saying fruit underscore name. So this is basically the function name, which will be followed by the def keyword, right? Now the function name will be followed by the optional arguments or parameters, right? So here we can pass in arg1 or arg2 and so on, right? This is optional. So at this point of time, we are not passing any arguments, right? And then finally it will be followed by the colon. So basically colon denotes that it is the end of the header in function, right? So this def, name of the function, parenthesis, colon, we can say basically it's a function header, and colon denotes the end of that header within the function, and then we can proceed with the body of the function by pressing enter, correct? Now it will be followed by the optional docstring, right? So docstring can be denoted by the triple quotes, right? And we can simply say call out fruit names, correct? So basically in docstring we can define what the function does or what the function is about, right? So it's basically the description about the function that we can mention, but again it's optional. And then it is followed by the couple of statements, the valid Python statements that you want to execute as a part of this function when this function is called, right? So let's say I want to print this is an apple, something like this, right? And then it will be followed by the optional return statement, right? Return will basically return a value from function. So the syntax is something like this: return and whatever you want to return, right? Let's say apple or any integer value you want to return, or you want to return any list, right? So this is optional, that you can decide whether you want to return something or not based on the use case, right? Now to call this function, we simply have to say fruit underscore name followed by the parenthesis. So this is how we can call a function. So let's go ahead and run this. So I'll say python 3 func underscore p18.py, enter, and as you can see here we have the output saying this is an apple. Now if I go ahead and comment line number 11, then this function will not call, right? So as you can see here we don't have any outcome. It means the function is not called, right? So this is how you can call the function. Now for example, there is a function, you know the function name and you want to know what that function is about. So how can you access this docstring, right? Which basically depicts what exactly the function does if it is defined, right? So for that you can simply say, let me say print function name, that is fruit underscore name dot underscore underscore doc underscore underscore, right? And now if I go ahead and run this, here as you can see, here we have the outcome saying call out fruit names that we have defined as a part of the docstring, right? So this is how you can print the docstring of the given function if it is defined, right? And this is how you can call the function on line number 11, right? Now let's take an example of a function with the return statement. So let me comment this. Let's define a function. So to define a function, there is a keyword called def, right? Followed by the function name, let's say addition, a very simple function, right, which accepts basically two arguments, let's say x comma y, followed by the colon which marks the end of the header of the function. Now we will start with the doc string, and it's optional, correct? So we will say this function basically perform addition, and what does it return? We will say return x plus y. That's all it does, right? Now let's call this function saying addition, and within parentheses, let's say I want to add 10 comma 2, and I want to print that addition, right? And similarly, let's add few more, 20 plus 5, and one more, 30, right, and so on. Now let's go ahead and run this. Let me clear this out and run that function again. As you can see here, we have the outcome of the addition, right, saying 12, 25, 50. So this is how the return statement works. So well, that's all I wanted to cover in this tutorial. And till that time, if you want me to do a tutorial on any use case or service, then please leave them below, and I will try my best to come up with the tutorial as soon as possible. And if you have any queries or comments, then again please leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.